Hi everyone! Today we're going to take a look at some of my miniature phalaenopsis. Most of them, actually only one of them has an ID. The rest of them are just really grocery store mini phals, no IDs. Some people call them peasant phals, and I call them that too. But I still love them. The reason we're looking at them today is because they're all exhibiting a lot of interesting growth, so I thought I would do a quick update. Let's start with this one. This one is a variegated leaf one, obviously. I think it's called Soko Vivian. I got this one from Home Depot, and I bought two. But this one is the only one I have left because I managed, well, the other one, I don't know. I managed to rot the roots and it just died. It never bounced back. This one, somehow really like the media. It's really just bark chips and sphagnum moss, about half and half. And ever since I moved down to Texas, it's loving the temperature, and it's giving me two root and a leaf. Hopefully this new leaf will be bigger than the latest leaf, the last leaf, because the last mature leaf is quite skinny, and I think that has to do with the fact that it did not receive proper sunlight when I was in New York. It was trying to mature that leaf in wintertime. This one, I actually did a video recently about this one. So the four roots are growing strong. Actually, at the time it was only showing the three roots at the bottom, but this one, the root is coming out from the leaf on top of a leaf there. That's a new one, and I'm gonna wait for maybe another day or so until just this root tip is long enough. I will slightly push it down so it'll try to grow inside the pot. I'll try to train it so it would grow inside the pot versus just growing over the edge of the pot. So hopefully it will do that. And then this one, look at this. 5 new roots. Sorry for the light. I had to shut the blinds, otherwise it's just completely dark. It's just giving me very cool root growth at the moment. 5 roots. And in the middle there is a leaf coming out. It's working on a leaf. So 5 fat roots. I love it. 5 fat roots. And this one is just one new root coming out there, but it's working on a new leaf. And this one is a fragrant one. It has Schilleriana in it. It's working a new leaf. And then I think 4 new roots. There is another one that has already grown into the media, but there are a total of 4 roots. And then this one is the mini phal that I used to have in my office. It just matured its last leaf, and now it's working on another one. The top 3 roots that you see, they used to just grow, poking out. But then I actually bend them so that I can try to train them to grow into the media. And they're all having very healthy green root tip, like the one on the right there. The top 3 roots. And then this one was another twin phal. But also, its twin was lost to root rot. So I only have this one. This is one of those twin valves that came in the same pot, 2 for the price of 1. This is a pure white, no ID valve, and it's giving me 2 new roots, and a new leaf in the middle there. I'm not sure if you can see. No, it won't focus. But it's working on 2 roots and 1 new leaf at the moment. So overall, they're doing good. They also received liquid seaweed recently. Well, actually, this week and the week before. I only give them liquid seaweed every other watering. But because they're having pretty good root growth and leaf growth, so I thought I would add another round of liquid seaweed before I flush the pot. And these will stay in their current setups, current media for another year. So next spring, I will repot them into semi-hydro. I want them to get established more with the roots. Now, I want to also show you a couple things. And here are the 4 phalaenopsis that I am growing in basically just sphagnum moss, and there's no drainage hole. These 2, actually, let me take them here so you can see. This one is a Tetraspis hybrid with Equestris. I don't know what happened. It did not like New York winter, so it had root rot and leaf fell off. And I was away, so it was dehydrated, and then it was hydrated, and then it got some root problem. But it's bouncing back. It has grown 5 tiny leaves since then, but one is always bigger than the other. And I can see 2 roots growing into the media, the moss already. So I know it's on its way to recovery, but I do not know when it'll flower, because as you can see, the original leaf is much bigger. So I'm not sure, but you know, my goal is not to kill it and slowly nurse it back to its original size. So it's been 5 leaf, 2 roots growing strong in this method. And this one, you know, there are roots growing inside the media. You see 2 root tips here, and then you see the green root tips that are growing inside the media right here and right there. They're liking it. I actually don't remember when I put them in moss like this. I think it was sometime toward the end of last year. So it's definitely been quite a few months already, but I just don't remember because I did not do a video on these. And then this one actually is probably doing the best. Right, it's very established, and you see all these roots growing out because the cup is kind of small. Oh, so this is a Equestris alba and Bellina alba hybrid, and it's also working on a new leaf. And all these green growing root tips, and then you also have root tips in the media, so it's actually doing really well. So I only water this when the moss gets really crispy dry, and every time I just let it soak until it's really wet, and then I would somehow hold the orchid and then just let the water drain until there is no more water coming out of the media. So in other words, you shouldn't be seeing anything dripping. If it still drips, let it drip until nothing drips out anymore, and then I just put it back. And that's it. And then I just let it go for another 2 weeks or so. Actually, no, I lied. another week. Usually these, because these, I don't have a whole lot of moss in each one of them, so they actually get really, really dry in about a week or so. So when I go on vacation, these, the first week, they're going to be okay, but they're going to be dry for another week. But for these ones, I think they'll be okay. And this one is a Bellina. This one actually is this one a Bellina? Yeah, it is. I have another Bellina that hates me. The two biggest leaves were the original leaves, and then each leaf is growing smaller and smaller. I'll show you that one in a bit. But this one is also loving this growing method. As you can see, they're just quite a bit of roots circling the pot inside the media, and it's also growing new roots. And then there's another root coming out just above the media there, right? And then this leaf is still maturing, and I think this leaf will be bigger than the last leaf, which is, I don't know. I didn't even do this thing. This thing just kind of grew on its own like that, so I don't know what happened. But this leaf is quite skinny, but this leaf is actually big and healthy. So overall, I think it is thriving. Okay. Now, oh, here is another, well, actually, this one was the one I'm talking about. This one hates me, but so I recently, put this in semi-hydro. Oh, this is not a Bellina, this is a Violacea. This one, the two biggest leaves are the original leaves, and then they're just so tiny, all the leaves. This one is the new one it's working on, so and it looks pretty good right now, because it's only been like maybe not even 2 weeks. So hopefully it'll start growing more. Bigger than the last two in the middle. These two leaves grew when I was back in New York and over the winter time. So they probably just did not like the environment there. And also the small leaf on the right, somehow I know something was wrong, because it's just not very smooth, and the color is kind of weird too, versus the new leaf that it's working on is actually very cute, smooth, and the color looks right. So we'll see how this one does, and I'll do an update in a month or two. And it's working on a small root at the bottom, but that one, I don't know. The tip is no longer lime green, so I'm not sure if it's stalling again. So we'll see. All right, I want to close this video by saying that thanks for all the comments and kind words that you have been sharing with me, and it's just been an amazing journey with all of you sharing things that you know, and we all learn from each other. It's a hobby, and I love this hobby. And it's really a good way to, put your mind to something that won't stress you out. So don't let this hobby stress you out. Do what works for you, right? I have a lot of friends, they say, hey, you're growing orchids. Aren't they very finicky or hard to take care of? And I say, yeah, it depends on how you handle them. I just want to say it's a hobby. Relax, enjoy them. And if they don't do well, figure out why and modify. Everybody learn as they go. I'm like that too. Anyway, until next time, take good care of yourself. Happy growing. I'll see you at the next video. Ciao.